When you look at countries and governments, you know, there's a president, there's the prime minister, there is the king. There are no kings of England. There aren't two CEOs of Starbucks. Yo, what's happening, YouTube? It's your boy Bolo, and I'm coming to you with another video for educational purposes only. And today we will be covering a show called The Daily Wrap-Up Crew, where they will be talking to quite a cute young lady. I'm gonna be honest, she's actually pretty cute. Unfortunately, she is doing her best man impersonation, terribly, but she's trying her darndest. And she's got heavy penis envy, trying to give off her I'm one of the niggas vibes. And she's not. She's gonna demonstrate how women in general do not understand leadership, hierarchies, and how things actually work to make it successful. Now, we're only gonna get about 8-9 minutes in because after that it goes off the rails. I couldn't even get past that. But let's get on with the video.
Yo, get into this next topic. It's the term alpha male being misconstrued with being misogynistic.
Yes.
Why you say that?
100%. Yeah, because I mean,
Because anytime a man is doing anything with assertiveness and confidence nowadays, they will just attach that to it. Also, just it being misconstrued as misogyny proves that it's really just a hate campaign against men, because anytime, and I don't care what realm that you're looking at, it could be violence, it could be whatever. It's toxic if a man does it, but it's badass if a woman does. You could go onto some feminist website, Reddit, whatever you want, and they will glorify the female snipers. They're badass. A woman fighting in MMA is a badass, which they are. I'm not going to deny that. But men participating in violence is toxic masculinity. Look at them, these savages. They're just can't be controlled. They're ravaging. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll notice that just in your daily comings and goings, that when women do things that men are demonized for, they get propped up for it all the time.
it's just bound to happen because everyone has their own term of what an alpha man is. So people are gonna put misogyny in it. It's just natural.
I have a question for y'all. What is your definition of an alpha man before I get into it?
I think somebody that's assertive, somebody that's a leader,
commands respect, attention.
Yeah.
Even amongst his peers, he stands out.
I personally don't like this term. I never did. Even when it was like the rave, alpha, betas. It's too broad. Humans have too many wrinkles, but for the sake of conversation, obviously it's the guy that's has the highest drive, aspirations. He's trying to get to the top of the mountain. He is not satisfied with, second place, the second hottest girl, the second highest paying job at said firm or company. He needs to be the top dog in all aspects. I guess that's what we would describe as the alpha male.
Like, he's alpha. Man.
Confident.
Mm-hmm.
Confident.
Right.
Successful.
Okay.
Great leadership skills.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Okay, so I have another question. Do you think two alphas could be in a relationship?
No.
No.
Why?
No.
Absolutely fucking not. I will explain after Miss Penis Envy over here, says her little two-piece.
Why do you think so?
Wait, why? What is that called then? That type of
That is
relationship?
called a dysfunctional relationship.
No, it's called the
like-
power couple, babes.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's
You can look
not.
it up.
No, it ain't. Beyonce got cheated on and she's still with that motherfucker. Okay, all these alpha women, they present the alpha to you because they don't give a shit about you and your relationships. You could go fuck it up all. They just cared about the streams and the record sales. So all this power couple shit, they are submitting to that man. Guaranteed. Any man, when you look at a lot of these relationships, when the woman is usually the bigger of the stars, a lot of times it ain't gonna work. Okay? They just look at that motherfucker as a bum. It is what it is.
How long have power couples existed?
Let's look at Beyonce and JayZ. They're two alphas in a relationship. Great example.
But how do we know? Because she's
Yeah.
successful?
She's an alpha in her industry. She's
Being good at something doesn't make you an alpha. This is what I mean. She doesn't even understand what she's talking about. Alpha is a personality type, okay? There are alphas in all spheres, okay? And also there are hierarchies in all spheres, and that's how men have been able to build all the best and worst things that we know of. When you look at countries and governments, you know, there's a president, there's the prime minister, there is the king. There are no kings of England. There aren't two CEOs of Starbucks. Even when you look at the lower levels of society, the degenerate, you know, spheres, like back in the day when you had the mob, there was the boss. There weren't the bosses of the Gambino family. There was one. And then there was his advisor, his underboss, who would be like the second in command. Okay, you're not going to have two. You tried that with Shaq and Kobe, and it couldn't work. You can't have two people vying for the top spot. Someone has to submit and give way. That's just how it works. Okay?
100% an alpha. You can't deny that she
How
isn't.
is she
That's
successful?
two alphas in a
Just because
relationship.
she's successful
Why
doesn't
can't
mean
there be
she's
two alphas?
automatically an alpha.
Yeah.
No, you fucking goofball. Everybody in the NBA, we could agree, are really good at basketball, right? They're the best basketball players in the world. And then even on their teams, there might be two guys that are really good. But naturally, there's going to be one that takes charge. He is more of the alpha personality. Kevin Durant is a perfect example. He has alpha skill sets and alpha productivity. The guy is one of the best to ever do it. But he's an alpha personality? Not at all. Same thing applies with Beyonce. She talks all that to the left and all that shit. She talks a good game with y'all because she don't give a fuck about y'all. You can fuck up your own relationship. It don't mean anything. She's worried about ticket sales, streams, and album sales. You want to kick your man out for the smallest reason? You go ahead. She's going to be still going to, you know, St. Lucia or whatever.
And just because she's successful in business don't mean she bring that to a relationship.
In a relationship,
Exactly.
but this
But
is the thing.
why
If
does
there's
it-
two alphas in the relationship, there has to be a point where someone is in submission at some
That's
point.
right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like I'm not saying.
So two
I'm
alphas
not
can't
saying.
be.
They
No,
can
yeah.
be, but they have
They
to
can't.
understand their positions at certain
Exactly.
times. They have to
They
have
can't.
that.
They can't coexist
No,
in a
not at certain times. This is another thing that a lot of women do not understand about leadership. Which is why even a lot of women, it shows, a lot of women prefer male bosses. I don't like the word boss because it seems too authoritarian, but male bosses over the female ones because men have a higher understanding of what a leader is. A lot of women understand being a leader as being a finger pointer, someone that just barks out orders. Guys understand there's more to it than just that. Okay, there's listening. Yes, there's delegation, of course. Hey, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And this is why. But if someone comes with, you know, some pushback, if respectful, they'll listen. Okay, women just want to point fingers and I'm the top dog. I'm the boss here. You got to listen to me.
relationship together. She can be alpha at work. Whatever she wants to be. He can be
it
alpha at
happens
work.
all the time. There are two alphas in a relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, you have to know one person has to submit at one time. Someone has to be the beta at
That's
some
not a,
time.
then that's not an
But
alpha. You can't be selectively an alpha. Like that's not how alpha works.
that is
You
how
talk
it
about
works.
beta.
No, it
Somebody
doesn't.
has to be a beta. That's not how
Someone
alpha
has
works.
to have a submission
alpha doesn't
role
sub-
at some
a- a
time.
alpha
at
doesn't
some
You don't switch that shit off and on. You don't switch your personality off and on. These are personality types. Just because you're good at something, oh, but I'm not good at this, all of a sudden I'm going to be a little bitch about it. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
point.
Alpha
They
doesn't
Some
do
submit.
people
because
think-
they're capable of it, but their whole personality is an alpha.
That's
It
Some
is
people think,
possible.
I just looked
Exactly.
it up. Some people think, and this is quote for quote, some people think that there can only be one alpha to strive in a relationship if they are paired with a beta. This is the damaging rule of thumb. Two compatible alphas, hence the keyword compatible, alphas can be in a relationship and make a power couple. You have your strong
The
suit.
funniest part about this is that it's literally just a quote she pulled up for Google. She says this. It's not a study, not a peer-reviewed study, encompassing a lot of different studies to come to this conclusion. It's literally just a quote off Google, and she's reading that shit like Moses wrote it himself.
Suits. I have my strong suits, and we combine. I feel like men who feel
Thank you for questioning that.
Google. It's right here.
But when you was Googling do women cheat, you stopped reading that. Like you ain't read that article, but when women cheat,
no, it was too long. No. That's a quote. That's not a whole article.
That's a quote, not a whole article. And she is trying to pass this shit off as like Bible.
Cool. That's the first thing that came up.
So where did they get that quote from?
Yo, I can write anything.
Definitely.
Don't go to my phone. That's a screenshot.
Oh, it's a screenshot.
It's a shame because she's actually really cute, man. If she like really try to like get down and like look really good and dress nice, man, she'd be fired.
She came with the smoke. Like, she came with the smoke. Contrary to what women believe, I do not believe that two alphas, and I know we live in this era where women want to be boss babes and boss chicks, and that's fine. But like you said, somebody always has to submit to. There's certain times where not in the definition of an alpha to submit. That's not how that works.
But there's different aspects to
she dominates in her part of the relationship, and he dominates in his part of the relationship.
What does that even mean? If his part, like, yeah, you dominate at being a woman, and he dominates at being a man. If you want to say that, then fine. But there aren't aspects where you dominate. Okay. Now, if there's something like, say, for instance, you know, you're a fucking electrician or some shit, and your girl's an accountant, you can say, hey, babe, I need you to do this because you're good at this thing. It doesn't make her the alpha just because she's better at something than he is. It doesn't, that's what they don't understand. They think being good at something or more productive in a certain field makes you the alpha in that thing. No, it doesn't. It makes you more proficient. It's a huge fucking difference.
And it works beautifully. It works beautifully. I don't
how many Beyonces and JayZ's you know? Because y'all always want to, regular women want to use
my aunt and my uncle, my grandma and my grandfather.
Those power couples.
Yes, they're two alphas. You can't tell her
your grandmother would call herself an alpha.
I don't think they would use that term, this modern day term, but two strong-minded people in a relationship and make a beautiful family. Absolutely, yeah. That's two alphas.
Strong-minded doesn't mean
you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. One of them was leading, the other was following and advising and giving their 2 cents. Now, maybe the grandma was the top dog. Who the fuck knows? That could be very well possible. I doubt it, coming from the time they came from. But one of them was submitting, point blank, period.
She's an alpha. Like,
yes, what is the alpha then?
It doesn't mean just because you're strong. That's a regular person. A woman can be strong-minded. That doesn't automatically mean she's alpha. Like,
no, what I'm saying is not everyone is strong-minded.
Alpha woman automatically means like her femininity and stuff
is diminished.
Like, that's what that means.
100%. 100%.
I don't think so. I think we're multifaceted.
Your egotistical pedestal.
Strong-minded. See, they might be thinking of it 2 different ways. Both of them. I think this might be a miscommunication. But strong-minded and combative are 2 different things. Being strong-minded isn't necessarily just a masculine trait. But being combative is. Okay, so if that's what she means, then yeah, your femininity is diminished. Point blank, period. The reason why being strong-minded is more valued than a man is because we can back it up. And if you can't, you're going to lose your place. Okay? There's this underlying threat of violence. That's why guys are in general a lot more respectful to each other than a woman would be to a man, because she doesn't present that threat of violence like a man does.
This is what essentially I'm trying to say. We have to stop categorizing people as if it's black and white when it's gray. There's different aspects to people, and they make relationships work.
So what
within
dynamic works more in society? A masculine and feminine, alpha and beta dynamic, people or 2 alpha dynamics?
Without
whether or not, that it is what it is.
Yeah, that's not moving the goalpost shit, bro. Like, we talking about alphas, right, and betas, right? So I'm saying in all of human society, what example has been proven to work more, an alpha and a beta, or 2 alphas?
JayZ
and Beyonce is an anomaly.
Your statistics for that?
JayZ and Beyonce is an anomaly.
Where's your
name me another?
You go through every aspect and every sphere. You could go to business, you could go to governments, you could go to organized crime, you could go to low-level street gangs. Even the street gangs, they say, oh, when they locked up our leadership, that's when we lost everything. That's when we became a lot more wild and reckless, when they locked up all of our OGs and the top guys. Even in jail, you have shot callers. You have a guy that tells everyone else what to do. Okay? You have, when all these drug gangs and crack and all that shit was going crazy, you had the leaders of these organizations. Doesn't matter if it's a good or a bad thing. Men understand there is a hierarchy. You go to war, you have your commanders and your captains and your lieutenants and your sergeants. There is a chain of command. Okay? And we understand that's just how things work best. Okay? And if another guy wants to be the top dog there, he might be plotting. He might take a backseat for a little while, but he might get you killed. Who the fuck knows? But at the end of the day, he's not trying to be your equal. He's not saying, hey, I'll be co-captains with you. He wants that top spot because there can only be one.
We can say how many alpha and betas have gone wrong. How many power couples,
power dynamics through the roof, and then you'll see also this alpha beta thing. It's really just a power. What is it called? Where it's like you have power over someone. It's like a power dynamic. Not power trip. Like I'm gonna just call it a power dynamic. I'm probably not using the same word, but they basically call all the shots. It's like you got to be cool with what I'm going on. With what's going on, you feel me? Because I pay the bills. I do this. I do that. It's really just feeding your ego. A real alpha, and I'm gonna just keep it a $150. A real alpha doesn't give a fuck who else. There could be mad alphas in the room. I'm an alpha. It doesn't matter. It really.
Again, not understanding how things work. Are there gonna be people that are a little bit more? They're in leadership roles but don't deserve it. Yeah, we could say that because a lot of those people that let the power go to their head, once it's gone, so does all their confidence. But that doesn't dismiss the fact that there can only be one. Okay, and you can't have a bunch of alphas and all this other shit unless they have power over their own delegations with no one officially on top of them. Okay, like you have the United Nations and things like that, where it's like a bunch of leaders of countries and they come together to try and work together. But it's like, I'm still the leader of my country. I'm working with you, but you're not on top of me. There is no leader or president of the United Nations. Okay? Because those people are like, I'm not allowing somebody to be on top of me. They are the alphas of their countries. Okay? So, again, she just doesn't understand shit at all.
Really doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me because I'm a leader.
But those alphas are not in relationships.
What you lead,
I can sit in a room with the alphas. I'm not in a relationship with these alphas. We're not in a relationship. You're comparing regular people as individual alphas in a relationships.
You're missing my point. You're literally taking it literally instead of reading in between the lines. If you're an alpha and you are comfortable within yourself and being confident, why does it matter if you're also with an alpha?
Because those
or someone who's also strong-minded
because if it's actually a part of your mental makeup, you are constantly trying to prove you're the top dog. You're trying to constantly prove that you are better than or more suited for this role than the other person. Okay, that's just how things work.
Contains leader qualities. I'm not done. Contains leader qualities. Is there something funny?
Yeah.
What's funny? I want to hear it. What's funny? I just feel like you haven't had a guest like this before, and you're just astonished. I don't know.
I'm not worried, concerned about you, young lady.
I never said you were.
You made me laugh. Are you mad?
No. Is that what I said though? You just put words in my mouth.
I just made a little smirk, and then you mad.
I just asked you.
Listen, and talking alpha woman. What are you, Wonder Woman?
Don't put words in my mouth. I never said I'm an alpha woman.
I think in general, because we live in this new age where women are embracing, for some reason, their femininity. I mean, their masculinity more, and they're getting rid of their femininity in exchange for masculinity. Now y'all want to tell men what they should want in a masculine woman, and men are saying we don't want that. We want feminine women. We want fit women. We want cooperative women. And if you want to be an alpha, you want to always bump heads with me. You want to challenge my authority in every decision I make. I'm saying what men want.
I have two questions for you. First of all, what is it that you determine to be masculine in a woman? What are attributes that a woman has that you see as masculine? And I really need to hear masculine attributes and not just something that makes you feel threatened by the type of confidence and mindset that she has.
I'm gonna answer that two parts, right? You keep using this word, make me feel threatened. It's ironic that you use those words.
I always find that funny too. It's like, why would I feel threatened? I can crush you like a bug. Like, what am I threatened by? Like, they throw that word around. You're threatened by me. You're scared of a woman like me. That I'm gonna speak back to you. I don't take you seriously. That's what it is. I don't take you seriously.
But when we talk about alphas, alpha men, and how misogynistic that is, then it becomes, now your feelings get involved. But listen, now your feelings get involved when we talk about alpha men, and when alpha men are saying on these shows or whatever the case is, what alpha man is.
On these shows, a lot of them dudes are suckers. Point blank. Period.
Now you feel threatened because of your feelings.
What?
But what I'm saying is, you keep using that word. We feel threatened by our feelings.
No, because you said masculinity.
Women feel threatened about alpha men, which is why I keep trying to define the term and what is misogynistic. When sometimes it's not even misogynistic.
It's not
because y'all think a man is trying to control y'all. Oh, that's misogynistic. He's trying to have authority over me. That's misogynistic. Y'all keep using these terms to try to hurt our feelings, and it's not working.
It's not hurting. I tried to hurt your feelings. I asked a question that you actually did not answer whatsoever.
No, because he actually didn't. I'll give her that one.
That's your third time saying your ego and all of this.
What do you mean your ego? I just asked you. I literally just said, I don't know if you're listening to me.
I am listening. But I literally just shaming tactics.
No, I'm not. Okay. I just said you didn't answer my question. What is attributes that a woman could? Okay, let me take out the threatened part. What are attributes a woman has that you see as masculine, that you deem as masculine? Please answer that and don't say.
That's fair.
Just answer the question straight.
The other part was absolutely unnecessary. A masculine woman is a woman that's overly aggressive. Combative, feels the need to always be in a leadership position. I think those are attributes that we associate to masculinity. And when we talk about femininity, like those are like the complete opposite.
Of course it's a masculine trait, because in order to be combative, it's in the word combat. If you're going to be talking wild and reckless to people and having a slick mouth, you have to be ready to defend yourself physically, because that person might say, you've crossed the line, I'm coming for you, motherfucker. And that's where a lot of these issues get involved, because now they said some shit to the wrong dude, said some slick shit, and now they mouth bleeding open and they crying.
This is what attracts
men. And no, I do not condone violence against women. I'm just saying there's some guys that are not gonna put up with that shit. Some guys, they might have had a bad day at work, who the fuck knows, and your little slick remark broke the camel's back.
Women is the feminine energy, not the masculine energy, not the alpha energy. That does not attract men to women. It never did historically. It never did.
I think that y'all just want to speak on like a minority of people. Like, yeah, you talking about two alphas can work in a relationship. It's not the majority of relationships in the world. That is true. Like, first of all, women are not alpha by nature.
There are men who like to be submissive
by nature.
There's
you
men
can't
who like
tell me that most women.
Most of those guys are not going to be respected by their woman. Most of those guys that are submissive and beta are in cuckold relationships, ethically non-monogamous. They're in open relationships that they don't want to be in, but because they're scared to lose this woman that they've invested a lot of time and emotions in, so they let them run behind their back and do whatever in order to keep them around.
that alpha and they're in relationships.
But there's men out
there
there.
Women that are submissive that are in relationships.
Okay, and there's
throughout
men
the
who
world.
also
when you come
favor
to
to be
America,
submissive.
that's where you find alpha women and masculine women and that
No,
women that keep
that's
in
not
relationships.
alpha male.
And that's where you see Beyonce's and JayZ's and shit. You don't see this when you go outside the USA. Women are submitting to their men outside the USA. This is a USA thing.
Where do you see that outside of the
Okay.
USA?
That's what I'm asking you. Where do you
country?
see that?
Okay.
No, I asked you. What
submission?
What countries do you see that in?
Submission?
Literally everywhere. You could go to India, China, any country in Africa, the Middle East, South America, Central America. It's just how it is.
From a female.
Literally every country.
Okay, because most of the time it's installed.
What do they do? How do they act? And then how do the men act in that country?
Oh my god.
The men act like men, masculine. The women act like women.
So
feminine.
what country pops in your head when you think of feminine
Africa?
women? Okay.
Fucking
China.
Everywhere else, but you go
India.
everywhere. You go to
Heavily
Canada,
oppressed.
and the women are way more
Exactly.
feminine
Heavily
than the women in the
Heavily
United States.
oppressed.
And then what about the aspects where the women will be feminine to you, right? When she's with you,
Right.
but the men do nothing. They sit at home all day and wait for that woman to collect the money.
I
You
remember
chose that nigga, so I mean that's your fault.
my question now.
talking
I have my
about?
question
See,
right
this
now.
is what I'm talking
I have
about.
my
Y'all
question.
speaking on a minority
You
of
make it up- you
situations.
make it up
how
examples,
many
like-
situations
She's
you
not
know where a
making
man
it
is
up.
sitting
I'm
at
not-
home
I'm
and
not.
not?
She's not making up.
Huh?
I'm not making nothing up. This is
I never said you're
reality.
making. I said you're speaking on a minority.
she's making
You're
up
not.
examples to try to
like,
fit her
yo, where you
narrative.
getting this example from?
But you
No.
can't even pinpoint like
My thing is you're speaking for a large majority. Okay, you're speaking
Name
for
me a
men.
Beyonce and JayZ outside
I'm
the
not
United States.
done. You just didn't you say before the cameras came on we
But
don't talk
no.
over each other? I'm not done though. So please wait.
Name me a
I just where it goes off the rails. I'm done talking. Obviously, they don't understand how authority works, what leadership is, what an alpha and beta actually is. There are confident betas, you know, if we're going to be talking about how people fall in hierarchies. The second or third guy, they would consider a beta, but if you don't think he was confident to get up there, you're a goddamn fool. So they obviously don't understand shit about anything, which is why they don't produce or create anything great and lasting. That's why they don't create Fortune 500 companies. They just want you to, you know, promote them to the top spot in one. But they don't create them because they don't have the fundamental understanding of how to build things and to build a successful umbrella to make things grow. Okay, but yeah, I'm out. Leave your thoughts at the bottom. Peace.